6 o'clock.
I'd like to welcome everybody to our Monday, January 12th, 2026 Cascade City Council meeting, and a special welcome to our newest council member, Jamie Raker, and returning Mark and Mike. We'll have a call to order with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Raker,
Here.
Weber,
Here.
Hush,
Here.
Gale,
Here.
Delaney.
Here. I need a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion by Hush,
Second.
second by Weber. All in favor?
Aye.
At this time, we'll have public comment, a limit of 3 minutes per person on agenda items and local government issues. Seeing none. Consent agenda, city council minutes, 12/15/25, Cascade Park Board minutes, 1/5/26, Cascade Public Library minutes, 1/6/26, Cascade Economic Development Corporation minutes, 11/19/25, liquor license for the Corner Tap Room doing business as Fern and Folio and The Cave, liquor license renewal for Dollar General, and January 12th, 2026 claims. Do we have any questions on any of the consent agenda?
Yes. This is in the claims. It's page 15. In regards to, sorry, Jake, but in regards to MSA billing, there's 4 items for stormwater review, stormwater watershed, SCHO. What are those?
So those, I'm trying to think, are you looking at this right here? Those are just
First floor.
coded, those are, so those amounts are coming out of each of those.
But what are they for?
One, I had Jake review the watershed out in the industrial park because we had asked for that. So that's one of the charges. And then just asked him some more information about the stormwater out in the industrial park and the different retention ponds. And then just so I would understand exactly how all the water runs out there. So that's basically what those charges were for.
So just clarification of what's out there presently?
When we have reviewed,
Good evening.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, you're not up yet.
we had reviewed, we had pulled old documentation from Teacup and some of that other work when the industrial park was originally put in. And then we created an exhibit that I think showed the different watersheds with the existing ponds and stuff. I believe was what that all was.
Yeah.
So that makes almost $4,000. Grand total of all 4 of those items are
There
listed.
must have been some other stuff. We've done some Oak Hill Park master plan
Yeah,
and
so
stuff.
I
Yeah.
have here, was the Riverview Park Shelter Plan and Research, the school crosswalk, the industrial park stormwater research and watershed, Third Avenue and Hayes Street reconstruction conceptual. I can't fit all of that in a line for you to see, but this is what, I mean, he breaks it down into what each one is for.
Right.
Okay, so
And
some
then
was-
there was another MSA. This one was for Oak Hill Master. And then this, there it is. And then this one was for the library and police department renovations and Oak Hill Master. So this one was like on there too.
Okay, well, that was my second, group was the library renovation, whatever I think that's almost $3,000.
Well, but that's also the Oak Hill Park Master Plan.
Yeah,
So that's one
was
invoice.
the majority of it.
And I split it out. So the library police department renovations was $1,300. And then the Oak Hill Park was $1,500. But that was one invoice and he broke it down so that we could, that's that total.
Okay, so what was actually done at the library, I guess, my question? I mean, at last meeting, we have a quote from our architect to do some preliminary cost analysis. I was just wondering what was done there.
Mainly, it was a site visit. We met out here and walked through both facilities. with MGA and looked at what their scope would be.
So you charge us and they're gonna charge us?
Yeah.
So
Well, they're
it-
gonna
so it
charge you
wasn't-
for,
So it wasn't the $2,500 that we agreed upon, it was your bill plus $2,500?
if there was, for whatever MGA proposed, yeah.
Yeah, that's for the actual study, the
Yeah.
2,500 for them to do the study. But
We
Jake
had met out
coordinated
here and walked
everything
through the
and,
facilities and met with Fred to see what he wanted out of it, out of the facilities. Met and reviewed what the existing facilities were, yeah.
Isn't that what we hired them for, though?
Hire, yeah, if, when they do their study, yes.
it was kind of like a preliminary meeting to kind of say, this is what we've kind of looked at, this is what we'd like at the library. And then looking at the space of the police department, we'd also like to open up the storage room and then possibly maybe add on to that. And then how we would envision that, you know, to actually be the police department.
Nothing against MSA or anything like that, but, I mean, we've got about $7,000 worth of things. It just seems like they're reviewing more so than,
Like the Oak Hill Master Park Plan, we created an exhibit and we did a bunch of estimating for what those different features out there would be. The Third Ave stuff,
That was the majority of it. I mean,
the Third Ave stuff, that's all work under contract.
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was
For the
29,000. That was
project.
beside,
Yeah.
Okay,
beside the,
Besides the rest of it.
okay. Just seems like a big number for,
Reviewing it.
Any other questions? If none, I need a motion on the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Weber,
Second?
second by Delaney, all in favor?
Aye.
So the ladies can get out of here. Can I have a motion on moving number 8 ahead of the Third Avenue?
sure.
Yes.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Hush,
I'll second it.
second by Gale, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Mary, you're up. Sister Mary?
I'm Sister Mary Lechtenberg. I was a teacher here in the early 70s for 7 years. And with me is Sister Mary Lou Irons, who was, she said she was a teacher and principal all along Highway 20 in all those schools. So we represent the Tri-State Coalition to End Human Trafficking. And I know that we were here last year, and we were asking for a proclamation again, naming January Human Trafficking Awareness Month. So it's a huge crime, and it's growing every year, and it's existed for a long time, but we need to make our children, our parents, and our children more aware. Our coalition started in 2014, and we've mostly done education with a lot of presentations, information sessions, and I was even here with Sister Janet May, who taught at Akron High School in the early 70s. We were at the old library and did every chair was full, but it was a small space, you know. So our focus now is on advocacy and focusing on sexual exploitation. And this is a result of trafficking. And no one knows that better, to bring this home right here. No one knows that better than the young women from your high school who were exploited when their photos were used inappropriately. And you might say, oh, well, that was last year. You know, that's all over with. But the trauma that these girls have experienced doesn't disappear. And neither do their photos, which are on the internet. So there's, the grooming takes place on the internet. The traffickers use force. Just remember these 3 words: force, fraud, coercion. And they I asked Deanna, did you send that newsletter?
I included the statistics.
The statistics?
Yep.
Okay. There are also articles in there from the Iowa Network Against Human Trafficking. We belong to that, and we also belong to a national group called the Alliance to End Human Trafficking. And both of these have newsletters, and in the back of this one, which I sent you from the Iowa State, there's a whole last page of articles, newspaper stories, of people who are exploiting children, those under age 18. And well, if you watch the papers, I cut out those articles where somebody's being arrested and then later on have a prison sentence. So I think someone to visit with is your IT people in the schools, and they are to be watching over what the children do, and we encourage parents to not let the children take these to their bedrooms, that they're all, put them on the kitchen table before everybody goes to bed, even mom and dads, and try not to have a computer in their bedroom, So that's kind of the time and the place. We're just asking people to be more aware that it is a problem. And this Iowa Network Against Human Trafficking, their newsletter points out what were the little towns where people are arrested. Is, you'd be amazed. And then to tell other people about it, because people say it's not happening here. And that's proof that it is when they're arrested. So thank you for the time. I hope I maybe did 4 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You're fine, sister.
Thank you.
Do we need to read this?
They should, probably.
We have a proclamation. Whereas by presidential proclamation, each January has been designated as Modern Day Slavery and Human Trafficking Prevention Month. In addition, January 11th has been designated National Human Trafficking Awareness Day. And whereas the issue of sex and labor trafficking are a violation of human rights, the hope of this proclamation is to raise awareness of this topic. And whereas City of Cascade wishes to acknowledge the following organizations' years of work to combat human trafficking: Coalition Against Human Trafficking and Sexual Exploitation. And whereas the United Nations Global Plan of Action has 3 pillars upon which it stands: protect, prevent, and prosecute. We invite all residents of Cascade to educate themselves on this issue and to support these 3 pillars to help eradicate the problem. And whereas invite all citizens and especially parents to increase their awareness of the potential evils of online use of applications and conversations that groom youth into trafficking through fraud, force, and coercion. We commend the school's IT staff and teachers for their K-12 curriculums that instruct youth and assist parents and caretakers to limit the sharing of personal information while online. And whereas we commend the Coalition Against Human Trafficking and Sexual Exploitation for their efforts. Now, therefore, I, Steve Napper, Mayor of the City of Cascade, Iowa, on January 12, 2026, on behalf of the City Council, staff, and residents of Cascade, do hereby proclaim the month of January 2026 as National Modern Day Slavery and Human Trafficking Prevention Month in the City of Cascade, Iowa. Thank you. And we will go to number 7. 3rd Avenue Southwest and Hayes Street Southwest Reconstruction Project discussion.
Thank you. Jake Deaver, MSA Professional Services, Dubuque. With me is also Hunter Nix. He's the main designer on the project. In case we get into details and weeds on it, I wanted Hunter here as well. So we met, I come out last week and met with city staff. I think it was last week, right? Sorry, the holidays kind of made my brain muddle things. Met with city staff and looked at it. when we got through the topo and established that corridor and started working through the design, we realized that all the properties south of Third Ave, as Third Ave turns and goes
To Hayes.
all those properties south on the west side, approximately half of the sidewalk currently resides on private property. And the survey did find property pins on the east side, so it's kind of funny in there. There's like a 17-foot offset through town in between the two counties, and it gets kind of funny in there, trying to get survey stuff to match up. But that corridor, we did find pins on the east side, so we're pretty confident in where that corridor is at. And if we put the sidewalk back as it is, then half that sidewalk would be on private property, and we need to either get right-of-way or permanent easement for that. Or I know Deanna put a memo together, or we could forgo sidewalk basically along those 7 properties, I believe it was 7 properties, up to Rife's basically, where Hayes Street comes on to Third Avenue. And so we're just looking for council direction on where they want to go. The connectivity is not real great for sidewalk in that area. There's only one side street that has sidewalk. It just dead ends at the south end at Fifth. There's no sidewalk beyond that. If we don't put the sidewalk back, then we avoid having to go through that acquisition process, which Deanna had roughed out some costs for that.
Shouldn't that cost be in the 1.4 million that we're spending?
The cost for the acquisition,
The cost for the sidewalk and all that?
the cost for the sidewalks in there, the acquisition for private property is not.
What's the acquisition for private property? I mean, if we take somebody's sidewalk out, we put somebody's sidewalk back in.
Yes.
But
But-
how much is that on private property?
It's
Like a couple,
It's 2 to 3 foot. We'd be taking like 3-foot private property.
there's nothing that you can shift to get away from that?
You could shift it, but then you're gonna have a road that's offset.
Yeah, it's gonna be offset.
I really wouldn't want that to determine where the roadway is at. Cause then you're gonna get to Fifth and you're gonna have a street that's offset
Yeah.
2 or 3 foot from where it is south of there.
Looks like they kinda are now.
Like,
I mean, if you look at the curb line, the east curb line on Hay Street, if you look straight south, I mean, it's a straight shot. And if we offset the road to avoid it, we'd have it'd be offset like 3 foot, and then you'd have some additional costs, if you shift the road, you'd have additional costs on that side of the street, on the east side of the street, dealing with all those driveways. You'd have additional driveway work on that side. Especially the one property, there's the sidewalk that runs down to the park, there's that one property on the north, I don't remember who lives there, but they have quite a sidewalk that runs around to a garden shed or something underneath, or it's probably a cap garage.
No, it's down in Marnox. Yeah.
Um,
But so that sidewalk on the west side of Hayes Street, part of that is,
As it currently exists, like 2 foot of it's on private property.
up on the corner.
From
The whole
Hayes,
thing?
from that intersection
Yeah, I
that's
see
up
that,
on
but I'm
the,
looking at something else.
from the intersection that's up on the screen right now,
Yep.
those 7 properties, half of the sidewalk resides on private property.
Yep, yep, yep.
And there's 7 properties, I believe.
Well, I know when 412 Hayes Street, that whole retaining wall and stuff there, the city paid for that one other time too. It looks like
they did.
it's falling apart again, so I think we just,
And that's the only block where there's any connectivity to the side street, is that sidewalk right there that runs along the south, or on the north side of Fifth Avenue Southwest. And it runs 1 block to the west. Other than that, there's no side street sidewalks or anything. And I don't know, when we looked at it and walked it with Phil, he wasn't sure how many of the property owners would be receptive to it.
To taking it out?
to
Signing the
giving
easements.
right of way or or permanent easement to the city to put it back.
And there's one property owner along that stretch that will probably hold out their hand to get a little chunk
Why?
of change
You're-
because of who he is and experience with his father with another project.
Yep.
So we have to. Guess I don't know.
I think we gotta at least reach out and see
What the climate is for,
what they, how most of them feel that are gonna be along that, because that's gonna change the front of their existing, whether you take the sidewalk out. 'Cause I'm assuming some of them, it looks like probably have sidewalks going down to it.
Question.
All of them, so the sidewalk wouldn't, instead of having, some of the properties do have sidewalk from their front door down to the street. And so instead of having curbside walk along the street, then their
Just go right
sidewalk
to
would
the
just
street.
terminate at the back of curb.
Mhm.
So they wouldn't lose access or anything.
Yeah.
And I don't know if any of the property owners, if a bunch of them will say, no, we like the sidewalk, we'd like to put it back, no problem, we'll give you right away. Or if they're gonna say, no, I'm tired of pushing snow, and then the city comes through and pushes the snow off the street onto my sidewalk, and then I gotta go do it again, I'd rather just get rid of it. I don't know what the property owners, at this point, we have not talked to any property owners about it. So we wanted to get council direction first.
So is there a boulevard along any of that? Like the sidewalk separate?
Nope, it's all curbside.
It all, it is, okay.
And it's all curbside along the north side of Third Ave too.
Mhm.
And all that is in existing right of way from Johnson Street to Rife's. Starting at the southeast corner of the Rife Funeral Home property, that's where the sidewalk starts to deviate and get onto private property.
So like right in here.
So it's basically, yeah, if you go further west on that, that's where it, I don't remember the property owner that has the rock wall and some of the landscaping.
Doug Fry.
Doug Fry.
Okay, so his property, it's all in the right of way. We can put the sidewalk back in the right of way. We're not gonna have to touch any of that limestone block. It's at the Rife corner where it starts to meander, and as you can see at the corner, at the southwest corner of Rife's property, the property line is basically back a curve. So almost all that sidewalk. And I'm assuming that Rife would like it put back, because I assume he has people that probably park on the street and would prefer to walk.
Yes, he
So I
does.
don't foresee, and I've dealt with Joe on other stuff, I don't think that'll be as much of an issue to get permanent
No.
easement right away, because he's probably gonna want the sidewalk anyway. It's more the 7 other property owners. I don't know,
So I got a question. The sidewalk's there now.
yep.
Why do we need the easement to put it back?
Well,
Why do we need?
so my professional recommendation is you need permanent easement and or right of way to put sidewalk. You can't put it, because
Why
it's
can't
a
we
public.
Why can't we do construction easement and turn it back over the way it is right now?
Well, you could talk to your attorney, I'm not an attorney, you could talk to your attorney about it, but my understanding of the law in the state is sidewalk is a public entity and needs to be either in right of way or permanent easement.
So if we eliminate the existing sidewalk, does that set a precedent going forward for other people that would want to eliminate theirs that might not be used?
Absolutely.
You know?
I mean, it could, this is a pretty unique circumstance where half of it, where the existing street, where half of
Yeah.
the existing sidewalks on private property, I mean.
I think we need to know what the property owners that would be affected, what their thought is before we
I
move.
think they should have at least an opinion on it
Yeah.
before we make any decisions. I think we should send out a letter, get in contact with them.
Being as there's no sidewalk in either one, I think there's a certain amount of parking on that street. People would be basically walking between between parked vehicles, et
Yeah.
cetera. I just hate to see,
Take it away.
and that's kind of a route to, eventually to parks, or, I mean, we've got multiple housing in that area as well. think it's a safety thing to retain the sidewalks, if at all possible.
And we can reach out and maybe try to have one meeting with all the owners in one spot, or I don't know, we can maybe go knock on doors when they're home.
That'd be the best, and
The point
then
I'm getting at
you,
here is, when we redid 412 Hayes Street, we obviously didn't get the easement there. Right?
I don't.
Because it's not there now. I
No.
know Horsefields did that retaining wall.
yeah.
It's not, when was that, when was that done?
When that, what block is that? Probably 20 years ago.
Okay. So it was probably just a thing where the city just went and did it, there was probably never any legal survey work, or,
Oh, they did sewer and water. They did that whole upper,
We're talking about the end of Hay Street?
yeah, the end of Hayes Street. This whole, was all
Oh, you're at a
redone,
different name.
up by Matt Simons. It was a street project.
Because when Hay Street was done in front of Rice, there was some issues that were rectified with,
Because there was too much slope when it came down on Third Avenue.
I think there was like
That
some
they
issues
trimmed
with,
that back?
I believe Fishers and
Yeah.
whatever,
Oh, that's right.
that had to be rectified,
Yeah.
taken care of.
So basically, technically, you're saying we need to have an easement to put that sidewalk back in there.
well, I'm not saying you couldn't do the project and put it back and no one would ever say anything. I mean,
If
it's
they
just-
were agreeable.
But I'm just saying, like, my professional opinion can't be, let's just go do it, because we know and we know half of it's on private property.
So it's either
They're gonna get a new sidewalk.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so that part of it, I mean, is a win on one way or the other for them. Either they give the easement or whatnot, they're getting a brand new sidewalk, so that's what, jump 5-10 years down the road, they
Yeah.
don't have to worry about the sidewalk, so I mean,
It's in
that's a
their-
bonus, is an interest.
It's in their best interest.
It's in their best interest that way.
Yeah, they're
But-
getting a new street, they're getting a new sidewalk, it's not being assessed.
Yeah.
Right, it's not coming out of their pocket type thing, so, I think they're gonna, I think the majority will, I'm hoping we'll see it that way, but, you know, I still think they need to be aware. You know, I mean, and so discussions can be had, so they know what's going on, and for reasons of why.
Yeah.
So who's gonna reach out to the property owners?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Yeah, we can reach out to them and whatever Deanna decides, if we wanna have all here at the same time, that works for them all, or
Okay.
go meet with them individually at times, whatever works.
All right.
Because it's just right after that corner on down that are gonna be really affected by it.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure it's 7 properties.
Everybody but Doug, right?
Oh, I see, yeah. All right.
When you're designing that, what's the standard for the slope on the storm sewer intakes?
For,
You know, because it seems like a lot of the intakes are way too flat ahead of them,
okay,
that the water has a tendency to just run by.
oh,
And I was wondering how far out you can come and pitch it into the intake.
I think we have 2% cross slope on the street, right? Yeah, it'll be designed around 2% cross slope on the street
I mean, can you increase that?
at the intakes.
Yeah.
Is there an issue where it runs by
Well, I mean, Garfield Street was terrible.
Garfield? Yeah.
It just went right by them. You could sit there and watch during a heavy rain, and there was no way that the water was gonna go into them much.
Yeah, I mean, we could look at increasing cross slope where we have the
Yeah.
intakes, yeah. So the only intake we have is at that sidewalk that runs down to the park.
Yeah,
And that one, we're not planning to reconstruct that, because that's a bigger one and it's in good shape.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna pull the top off and we'll track a paver over it.
Yeah, that
Um,
one's sizable.
Yeah. We were gonna add a couple intakes to help with gutter spread in a couple locations, but, I mean, mainly it's just new surfacing, new water, new sewer. There's not a whole lot of stormwater stuff to do with it, other than just put back what's there.
Any other questions?
Is there an intake? There's not one on the corner there, is there?
There's a couple, where is it? I think it's at Fourth, there's a couple that we'll reconstruct that are there.
You have a preliminary plan?
We have it, I don't know, we don't have any sheets with us. There's a couple at Fourth, and then there's that big one that runs down to the park, and I think that's all there
Yeah.
is. And the one at Fourth are on them two side streets, it catches the side streets.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
There's nothing up by Fifth, is there?
There's nothing at Fifth, no.
Because at some point, it probably wouldn't be the worst to reconstruct the Garfield and Fifth Avenue intersection and try and bring some of that water runoff east. Because the water that comes down off that hill during a heavy rain's tremendous. And I don't know what it would take to take that water across that intersection, take it east, but.
Well, and then before we would do that, we probably should, because there's some drainage issues down in the park, because it all goes down to the creek in the park, right? And there's, it don't drain real efficiently down there, does it?
It's flat.
I think we had to, I think, it wasn't gravel?
Yep.
It out as best you could, but yeah, from there to where it goes over to there's barely any drop.
Right.
Is a main problem.
So I remember we looked at that ditch.
Yep.
So overdoing it probably wouldn't be good either.
Any other questions?
So Dan and I will reach out to owners and try to get a feel for what they're thinking, if they want to put back, if they're open easements, if they don't want the sidewalk put back.
Good.
Okay.
Thanks, Jake.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Number 9, consideration to approve resolution number 1-26, a resolution approving annual appointments for the city of Cascade, Iowa for the calendar year of 2026. Is there any questions on this? If none, I need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Delaney,
Second.
second by Hush. Roll call.
Raker,
Aye.
Weber,
Aye.
Hush,
Aye.
Gale,
Aye.
Delaney,
Aye.
Number 10, consideration to approve resolution number 2-26, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Cascade, Iowa, designating the Cascade Pioneer as the city's official newspaper, with the Dubuque Telegraph Herald as the official alternate newspaper for the term January 1, 2026 to December 31, 2026, for publication as required by law of ordinances and official notices. Need a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Gale,
Second.
second by Weber. Roll call.
Weber,
Aye.
Hush,
Aye.
Gale,
Aye.
Delaney,
Aye.
Raker,
Number 11, consideration to approve ordinance number 5-25, and ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Cascade, Iowa by amending Title 6, Physical Environment, Chapter 5, Utilities Billing Charges, Section 8, Water Rates of Service, and this is the third and final reading. Need a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Delaney,
I'll second.
second by Gale. Roll call.
Hush,
Aye.
Gale,
Aye.
Delaney,
Aye.
Raker, Weber,
Aye.
Number 12, consideration to approve ordinance number 6-25, an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Cascade, Iowa by amending Title 6, Physical Environment, Chapter 5, Utilities Billing Charges, Section 11, Rate of Sewer, Rent, and manner of payment, and this is the third and final reading. Need a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 6-25.
Motion by Hush,
Second.
second by Weber, roll call.
Gale.
Aye.
Delaney.
Aye.
Raker.
Aye.
Weber.
Aye.
Hush.
Aye.
Number 13, discussion on the request from CEDC and allocated funds in fiscal year '26. This was a tabled item. Do we want to table this until we get into budget, or what's everybody's
When are we
thought?
gonna discuss this?
I'm sorry?
When are we gonna,
You guys have to let me know when you want to untable it. I can't untable it. You
Right.
have to untable it.
you wanna wait till budget?
Probably.
I mean, we'll have our first budget workshop at the next meeting, and I'm gonna have like fire, police,
Yeah,
EMS present, so I don't know if we want to do it at that meeting.
might as well do it then.
Okay, is
Yep,
that,
that works for everyone? That's agreeable?
Do we need a motion to untable at this meeting?
no,
No,
we'll do that
you'll
at
do
the
it the
next
next
meeting.
one.
I'll
Okay.
just make a note that,
Okay.
to include stuff in the packet.
Reports, Fred?
I guess included in your packets were my monthly report from December and then a year-end report. Hopefully, this 2026 is a little better year than we kind of started out in the first, or going in the second quarter last year, so it got busy and just stayed busy, so. Any questions, I guess, for me? Okay. Thanks, Fred.
Thank you. Deanna?
Okay, I'll just go through my report. Just so you're aware, we did go live with payroll in our new system last week, and everything went smooth. Everybody got paid like they were supposed to, so that was a good thing. And we still need to do our bank reconciliation, and we just have to coordinate a time with the people from Tyler to learn how to do that and work everything out. Our audit report will be available at the next council meeting. The auditors are working on finalizing that, and then we have a phone call with them on Wednesday. Been working on the budget, have met with Fred and Kim. Tomorrow night I'm meeting with fire chief and assistant chief and treasurer. I met with the library board in December, and the park board just finalized their budgets. I'm meeting with Phil tomorrow to go over road use, water and sewer budgets. We received our bond proceeds of the $1,420,000 on December 30th, and that's for the 3rd Avenue and Hayes Street project. And we also received the $23,830.12 for the tool library. And Melissa and I will be meeting with Cascade Lumber later this month to start working on what we're gonna purchase and how we're gonna work all that out. And I already kind of mentioned this, but reminder that we're gonna hold our first budget workshop following our regular meeting at our meeting in 2 weeks, and I plan for those 4 departments to present their budgets. We put the 1999 fire truck on an online auction with Integrity Sales in Wisconsin. And Eastern Iowa, they sell all of their surplus inventory with them, and it finally sold. We received $22,500, and they actually came and picked it up on Friday. On December 16th, we received a thank you from a lady whose vehicle had hit a deer on the night before Thanksgiving, and Tyler happened to be on duty that night, and he went up, he assessed the vehicle, he helped do a report for the insurance company, and then he also helped get them a company to tow their vehicle. So a big thank you to Tyler for going up and above, and it was nice to get those kind of emails, you know. We did receive some good news today. We received our safety dividend check from IAMU that we get every year, and it's been anywhere from like $6,500 to $18,000. The check we received today was $20,425, and that gets split between water and sewer. And but then we did receive bad news in the same moment, that due to an injury that we had last year, our work comp experience mod is going up from 0.92 to 1.52. And unfortunately, that stays with us for 3 years. So,
Takes a while.
yeah, it does.
What was the IAMU?
Iowa Association of Municipal Utilities. The guys go to training every month, and we pay fees to them for that training every quarter. And so, based on the number of injuries and how the year went for them, they give us back a dividend.
If there's nothing else for the betterment of the community, I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion, adjourn.
Motion by Hush,
Second.
second by Weber, all in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, everybody.